Hi everyone, it's Niesha Davis here, and this is Motivational Masterpiece, where you are on a journey to becoming the master of your own peace of mind. I am a therapist. However, this is not a substitute for therapy. As I always say, remember, if you are in need of a therapist, I encourage you to reach out and get some help, as there are so many platforms available for you to find a therapist that is the best fit for you. Remember, it is okay not to be okay. And if you are in need of help, I encourage you to get some help. It's okay to have a bad day every once in a while, but if that bad day continues and persists longer than what you think it should, then that is a cue and a sign that you need to get some help. Today, I just wanted to talk to you about process and the purpose in the process. Now, if we think about the word process, what does process actually mean? The process basically is just steps that we take in a situation. The process is steps to make something come to fruition or make something happen. So when we're in the process, so for example, let's just say making a burrito, for example. Making a burrito, there is a process in making a burrito. So let's just say if we're making a bean and cheese burrito with meat, there is a process in creating and making that burrito. You have to cook the meat, you have to cook the beans, you have to warm up the shell, and then you have to put it all together. Once the burrito is finally put together, then it becomes a delectable treat for whoever likes bean and cheese and meat burritos. Now, if we just think about process and process in our lives, a lot of times we have to go through things in our lives, some things that are very uncomfortable. Some things that we don't even know what the outcome of the process is going to be. And it's during those times that makes the process very difficult. It's during those times that we can get discouraged and that we feel like giving up because we don't know what the outcome of the process is going to be. Now, when we go through tests and trials in our lives, sometimes we may know some of the things that's going to happen in the process, and then there's other times that we're not going to know what some of those steps are. There are going to be times when things catch us by surprise, or there's going to be times when the process seems like it's going great and that we might hit a bump in the road and it discourages us and it throws us off track. Going through processes can be very difficult and can be very challenging because we have to go through different steps. Sometimes when we're taking these steps, the road might seem smooth and we might be able to easily continue on and guide through the road. And then there's other times that we will find a bump in the road where it may happen unexpectedly and we don't see it. And it's during those times when if we're not paying attention and if we're not focused on what our end goal is, we can hit that bump in the road and it can throw us off track. So for example, to provide you another example, we can be on a trip. Let's just say we're traveling to Las Vegas. On the way to Las Vegas, we may know the direction, how to get to Las Vegas. We may check the weather before we go, and the weather may tell us that the trip is going to be sunny. It's not going to be any rain. There's not going to be any situations that's going to hinder us as we're on this process traveling to Las Vegas. However, we may start the journey and we may start traveling on this road thinking that we're going to have a great drive, everything is going to go great. And then as we begin to get on this journey to travel into Las Vegas, we might hit a car accident, for example, a car accident that may delay our trip to Las Vegas. Now, that's a bump in the road because we didn't anticipate and we didn't expect to run into a car accident. Now, during that time where we maybe have to wait for 45 minutes to an hour, we may get frustrated. We may get irritated because maybe we were going to a concert or something like that. And this accident and this delay may make us late for the concert, or it may make us late to check into our hotel. The point that I'm trying to get to you is that even though we may know what the end result may be in something that we're expecting, we don't always see the things that are in between. We don't always see what's going to happen in the process. And what I want you to get out of this video today is that even in the midst of things happening, even in the midst of discouragement, even in the midst of where you don't see a way out or something happens that you didn't anticipate and you do not know how you're going to get out of it, remember, there is a purpose in the process. So for example, if we go back to the trip to Las Vegas, Even though we may have been frustrated or irritated because there was a car accident and it delayed our trip 45 minutes to an hour behind, we don't know that that wait may be the very thing that saved our lives. What if there was going to be a situation further on down the road that would have caused us to be in a car accident? Or what if there would have been a situation where we would have been intertwined in something that would have maybe taken our lives or maybe even taken our car? That was a purpose in that process. The purpose of the accident and the delay helped us to not be the one in an accident that could have occurred further down the road. Now, this is just an example that I'm trying to give to you to understand what I mean about purpose in the process. Sometimes we begin things, sometimes we enter into relationships, and sometimes we think that the relationship, whether it's a friendship or whether it's an intimate relationship, we think that relationship is going to be a great relationship because why? It started out really great and everything seemed to be going fine. However, maybe things happened during that relationship, things that maybe didn't feel so good, or things that maybe hurt us, or maybe things that we discovered about somebody that we didn't know. And in that process, we may get discouraged and feel like, you know what? I don't think this is a good friendship for me. I don't think this is a good relationship for me. In that process, the purpose of that process and the purpose of the situations is that you discover that sometimes people in your life are in your life for a reason, people are in your life for a season, and people are in your life for a lifetime. If it's a friendship or a relationship that you can work through whatever those challenges are and those bumps in the road are, the end result could be that you have an amazing relationship. Even though you've been through challenges, even though you've experienced things that don't feel good, the end result could be that, you know what? We've experienced so many things, but now that we've gotten to this point is where I've learned so much about you and you've learned so much about me that we can take all of the things that we have learned and allow these experiences, good and bad, to propel us to the next level. Another example is people can look at the things that they've experienced, good and bad, and realize that maybe, you know what? It's just time for us to let it go. Remember, there is purpose in the process. You just have to know what the purpose is. Because there is no situation that we will experience in life that will be 100% completely fabulous, great, no problems at all. We all experience things in life, whether it's a job, whether it's opening up a business, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's school, whatever the situation may be. We all experience things in life, and there is a process through the things that we go through in life. And sometimes that process doesn't feel good. But what I want you to see is that there is purpose in the process. There is purpose in the process. There is something for you to see in that process. That process will help you to grow. That process will encourage you. That process will increase your patience. That process will open your eyes to see things from a different perspective that maybe you didn't see it before. You have to understand what is the purpose in the process. So I want to tell you today, don't give up on that relationship if there is purpose in that process. Go ahead and make that decision if you feel there is purpose in that process. Don't give up on your business adventure because there's purpose in the process. Even though you don't understand it completely and you don't know exactly what the purpose is, I challenge you to look at that situation from a different lens. Open your eyes and see it from a different perspective because there is purpose in the process. Everything that we encounter in life is a process. When you go to school and you get a degree, even in high school, you cannot gain a high school diploma without going through the process of completing 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and then 12th grade to get your diploma. And during those 4 years of high school, you learn so much. Sometimes you make bad decisions, and sometimes you learn from those bad decisions that help you to make better decisions as you continue on your journey. Again, In relationships, like I mentioned before, sometimes you go through things and you experience things. And sometimes those things help you to see that maybe, you know what, this relationship is not good for me. And other times it allows you to understand that no relationship is perfect. Every relationship goes through something. A lot of times I tell my clients that nobody made it to 50 years of marriage because they didn't experience anything. People made it through 50 years of marriage because they went through tests and trials. They went through a process. And in that process, they understood and they were able to know that this is my lifelong partner. This is the person that I choose to be with. This is the person that I love. And that even though we've experienced bad things, I feel connected to this person. And I feel like this is my soulmate. It's the same thing with the business. No successful business makes it to success without going through a process. And when they become successful, the process does not end, but the process continues. But there is purpose in the process. You learn as you go. Now, as a business owner, I can tell you that right now. I have learned so much opening up 2 businesses. When I opened up my businesses, I didn't know everything, and I still don't know everything. And guess what? I've learned so much, and I am still learning because there is so much purpose in the processes that I go through. And the processes that I go through, they haven't stopped. I continue to go through processes every day. Some take longer than others. But the point that I'm making again is that there is a purpose and there is a reason for the process. Don't get discouraged. Don't get weary in well-doing because you will reap if you faint not. Don't give up on that business adventure because it seems hard or because maybe the finances aren't coming the way that you want it to come. Remember, there is purpose in the process and you have to keep pushing. You have to keep going because you live and you learn by your mistakes. Don't give up on that relationship because you feel like somebody wronged you or maybe somebody made decisions that weren't helpful for your relationship. If you love that person and you know that person is your lifelong partner or you guys can grow from what you learn, continue on to the process. Because remember, nobody made it to 50 years because every day was a piece of cake and it was a walk in the park. We don't get to 50 years of relationship because we gave up. We don't get to 50 years of being in business because we gave up. We don't get to live to be however old you are because you gave up. Don't give up on the process. Don't give up on your life because even this journey called life is a process. From birth to now, wherever you may be in your life, you're going to live and you're going to learn things that are going to propel you to the next level. Even in traumatic events that you may have experienced in your life, these are all processes, and don't give up on the process. You didn't get to choose what happened to you. You didn't get to choose what bumps were going to be in the road. Sometimes things happen unexpectedly, and we don't have control over it. But one thing you can do is you can focus on what you can control, and that is learning during the process. Understanding and knowing that there is purpose in the process and not giving up. You can get through it. You can make it because there is a purpose in your process, whatever that may be. Now, keep going. Don't stop. You got this. You could do this. And I'm rooting for you because as you go through your process, I'm going through a process too. And being able to understand that there is purpose in my process is what's continuing to push me and encourage me to keep going to the next level. So again, Niesha Davis here, LCSW. If you haven't liked or subscribed to this channel, I encourage you to like the video, subscribe to this channel, refer your friend as you will not be disappointed. And until next time, see you soon.